So this is a fragrance that was released in 2018. I just tried it for the first time today, so thank you very much for that, Chad. And this one is called Dunhill Century. As soon as I smelled it, I was immediately able to connect it to another scent that I've tried before. I'm going to be letting you guys know what that scent is, so stay tuned. So again, this fragrance was released last year in 2018. The perfumer for this fragrance is Carlos Benaim. Carlos Benaim is an amazing perfumer. He has a really impressive track record. He's also done another fragrance for Dunhill called Icon. He's done a bunch of Edward Best fragrances. There are 4 in total, and I love all of them. He's done fragrances for Giorgio Armani. The list goes on and on. So this one is a sandalwood heavy scent, and it contains notes of sandalwood, cypriol oil or nagarmotha. It also has a little bit of olibanum, which is also frankincense, a little bit of citrus in here, some neroli, some orange, some grapefruit, and a little bit of musk as well. So this is a scent where I picked it up because obviously I'm over my friend Chad's house, so Chad's information is going to be down below, so definitely make sure to check his channel out. He's a fragrance reviewer as well. And so I decided I wanted to smell the fragrances that I haven't smelled before. So once I smelled this one for the first time, I was immediately able to make a connection with another scent that I've tried before. But being as though this is your fragrance, I would like for you to start, and you are the guest. So.
Okay, so to be fair, I've only worn this twice.
Gotcha.
This is the 3rd time right now. What I get is, okay, so I don't know what cypriol smells like, but I get a very green, herbal vibe. I get lavender, I get citruses, and I'm going to be very honest. This is Dunhill Century. It kind of smells like that. Classic and dated.
Like something released a century ago?
Yeah. It smells alright, but to be honest with you. But it does smell like a much older scent. Something from back then.
Right. You know, so I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Santal 33 by Le Labo. I think they utilize a very similar sandalwood note, but this is kind of like a sandal, or let me put it like this. This is kind of like Santal 33 Eau Fraiche. If they release like an Eau Fraiche version or a sport version or something like that, I can definitely imagine it smelling a little bit like this. Just because it has that sandalwood component with a little bit of that green herbal vibe on account of the cypriol oil, but it also has a bunch of citrus in the opening, which I find it to be really appealing, but it kind of takes away from that heavy sandalwood sort of a vibe. And I know that Santal 33 also has papyrus in it. This one does not, so it doesn't have that element to it, but it's a very pleasant scent.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, but it just comes across as mature.
Yeah, I can certainly agree to that. You know, Santal 33 is one of those scents where, you know, I've smelled it everywhere. It's certainly been overdone. I also know of a couple of fragrances by Zara that smell like Santal 33, and they're in the wheelhouse of like $13 American. And so, you know, to pay anything more than that for that type of a scent, I don't think is worth it per se. I do get spectacular longevity from the original though. Since we've covered the smell a little bit, what do you get in terms of occasions?
I would say office and something a little bit more formal.
Okay.
A student, I don't think, would really appreciate this one unless that younger person is more mature than what he really is.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so like you're what, 31, 32?
I'm 31, yeah.
But Steven has very mature, and you act older than what you really are. You come across as like someone who's 40, 45.
Right.
I'm 42. I come across as someone who's 20. You know, but this is a fragrance for an older man. Someone, or if it's a younger person, someone who's a lot more of an old soul. Someone who is a lot more mature, or someone who has a lot, like a younger person who has a lot more life experience than the other person. So I could see that in that sense. But a regular student, no.
Yeah, I hear you. So I would pretty much agree with the same thing. And in terms of seasons, I can see this one being worn all year round, believe it or not. If it smelled a little bit more like Santal 33, I would say that this one would be worn in the colder weather. But on account of that citrus, and I do get mostly neroli, I think somebody in the summertime could pull this off very comfortably as well. So really, final verdict on this one is it's very reminiscent of fragrances that you've smelled before. Imagine Santal 33 severely toned down with an added neroli note in the opening, just to create a sort of freshness to it. And I kind of really enjoy this one. I don't think it's all that unique. I also don't think it's all that original, but ultimately it's a very pleasant scent, and if you're in the market for that kind of a fragrance, I think you might really enjoy this one. So if you had to give this a rating out of 5, what would you give it?
Oh, because it's now becoming back to me, and I haven't worn it a month or two, this is probably more so along a 3 out of 5. You know, it's again, it's for an older gentleman, and this is what this is. It's a gentleman's fragrance.
Right.
You know, it's not a frat boy or a party goer. This is a gentleman's type of scent, but an older gentleman.
Yeah, I can understand what you mean. I normally don't rate fragrances either, but if I had to put a rating on this one, I would also give it a 3 out of 5. Again, very pleasant, in the wheelhouse of things that you've smelled before, but ultimately, I don't think it's a fragrance that's going to turn people off. It's one that can be worn very comfortably in a number of different scenarios, and I can also see it being a really good office scent as well. So, thank you so much for joining me, Chad. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being such a fantastic host here in Canada. So once again, Chad's information is going to be down below, so definitely make sure to check his channel out. If you are new to this channel and you did take something of value from this video, I would love it if you could support this channel. It's easy and it's free. All you need to do is click that red subscribe button in the corner, and this way, whenever we do upload future fragrance-related content, it will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of our future uploads, and of course that includes fragrance reviews like this one, top 10 fragrances videos, unboxings, special guests, giveaways, interviews, and a whole lot of other fragrance-related content. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.